Hello, welcome back to Brother Sushi Life Coding. In this episode, I will be sharing with you the creation of this kind of like a living pearl bracelet. So it might look complicated, but I can build this from scratch for just a few minutes. It's actually super easy and simple. Think of it just like a circle, and for each circle, you kind of resample the line into segment, and then for each segment, just create sphere, and then you animate the line using noise, and then you get what you get here. Oh yeah, there's a bit of shader work as well, but let's just make there are a lot of applications for this setup, so you can just reuse it and then make a little bit of tweak, and you're gonna get a lot of interesting results just from here. So you can start with just a circle, and we know circle have vertices, edges, polygon. We're gonna measure the length of the path, I think. So circle, of course, if you control click, you have this viewer. It's a circle. Let's get rid of the polygon face. We have just the outline of the circle. Save this. Living pearl. So we have segment lengths, and this gonna calculate the length of each circle, right? And you want to place sphere or icosphere. In this case, I just use icosphere. You can use sphere. We want to place this icosphere on every center of the beads. Yeah, so we need the center as well. So we need the origin of every edges. So I think by looking at these nodes, you probably already know, okay, that's how you do it. It's pretty simple. But this can be useful if you are new to nodes and the workflow with virtual. You can do this with animation nodes as well. So let's do it this way. So we're gonna create icosphere here, and the radius, we want to be able to control it using the scaling. So the length of the edge will control the scale of this radius. You can actually plug it into radius, but better control it with these transformations. So we have the center of, we have the circle, we have the edge, we know the center of every edge, so we just plug it into the position. Now the radius needs to be controlled, right? I leave it at unit 1. We're gonna scale it. So we have the segment length. You can't just plug it into the scale. Because scale is like vector, 3 values, so we need to combine it together like that. So this is, I think it's getting there. There's something that's we are missing. It's I think the value needs to be halved because we don't use the diameters. We need the radius. So we halve the value. So we managed to place icosphere on every beads. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The tangent, the normal and the tangent, I think you can just plug it in. Yeah, if you want to rotate it properly, you want to use the tangent, but anyway, for now, we don't worry about that. Let's actually animate the circle, just to prove this is actually working. So let's just use noise displays, and we use the vertices only. And I think this is already working. So we are displacing the circle using noise, and we can move it. So it's kind of like it's inside water. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's reduce the number and turn this icosphere into sphere, and let's use frame. Plug this into this guy, but we need vector. So we are animating and transforming the world. Yeah, the world matrix. So we have this. It's pretty basic and simple. And if you now perhaps you want to give it the different color, like what I showed you earlier. Yep, that should be pretty easy as well. You just use, let's give it a material. This material will take random color for the vertex color. So let's just name it set vert. I'm gonna apply it to every single object here. So every object now have the same material, but objects with the same material can have different vertex color. So set vertex color here. So we have 12 objects and we want to give 12 different color. Like that. This guy, of course, we need to plug in the material. So we go to the shader, under shader editor. Let's find our material. You can do it from this node, like you can use vertex color here and just select svcol and plug it in into the base color, or you can just use this also, the same. Where's vertex color? Just use svcol. Okay, the color will come from Sverchok into Eevee or cycles. If we use HSV, make all the value 111, we have this. So it's just a matter of us animating this value. So let's try. Just animate the value. For example, we can have this. So where's the value from? The value is coming from the path length. So if we observe this using stethoscope, this is the length of every edge. We can use remapper, map range. This map range is actually quite clever. You can list limits. You can turn on and off the clamping, but you can list limits. So it's gonna find the minimum, the lowest and the highest value, and you can remap it into any value. So that's the idea. You can actually, yeah, anyway. This value is good for our color. You might notice, okay, seems to be something's happening, but there's only one color. Yeah, why is that? Because the value that's coming in is only a single value here. We need to split the value. List split. So now you can see we have multiple value. We have 12 value goes in this. I have a feeling that maybe there's one value missing or something, because we have 12 vertices. That means we only have 11 edge, right? Maybe one of the setup here needs to be fixed, but I think it's, oh yeah, I know, because we are using the locations. Oh no, I think it's supposed to be correct. We have 12 points. This should find the origin of every edge. We should get 11 here. Oh well, doesn't matter. I'll fix that later. This color, you can play around with the saturation and this as well, the hue. So this use the same value for the hue, and you have this kind of interesting, right? And you can play around with the minimum and maximum, and you have this living sphere animated. If you ever want to bake it with Spheretalk, if it's a transform animations like this is a transform animations, right? It's animating the location and scale. You can animate the rotation as well. But just select all, F3, bake. Just bake action, visual keying, and then just run it. So it's gonna bake all the 250 frames. Okay, and then after you do this, you can just delete everything. You end up with this. And you can export this as AR, GLB, or USDZ for Apple, or GLB for Androids. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I should undo that. At any time, you can just select all, delete everything. Animation still working, and you can change the noise, you know. And you have different animations for this bead, and you can increase the number. Still working. All right, so that's a procedural animated living pearls. Hopefully you find this interesting. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.